I am part of a clan that might have some stigma attached to it.
Here we go.
I am a Malkavian. I'm gonna tap into a blurry memory that I have. I remember the cold of the ocean. And then I remember a horrible smell. And I remember being dragged. And I remember my name being taken from me.
He seems to be sharing with you memories or fragments of memories of his embrace.
When we are dealing with people in power, sometimes it's fun to say things and just let them go. Because you never know what they're going to reveal. You're going to teach me how to moonwalk. I saw you do it. I know you can. All right, there's this elephant. That's reality, right? You're following?
Yes.
The elephant represents reality. It's like a metaphor or simile or one of those. The Malkavian bat, however, the Malkavian bat soars past the elephant. It doesn't even encounter it. And it says, aha! This thing that all the other people are obsessed with is nothing. It doesn't exist. It's incorporeal. It doesn't matter. And we are right. Sometimes fast food doesn't cut it.
Is there more?
Later.
Now would be good.
It would be. You're right.
Such a jerk, X.
You're one to talk. What's happening? I've started a club.
Okay.
We're called the X's.
Okay.
Because my name is X.
Yeah.
And it's with your ex-girlfriend.
It's okay, I know.
What? I'm so excited. Look at us murdering. That's like, who's Chaz? Your Highness. He's real. We are in his presence.
We are indeed in his presence.
The Baron of the Valley.
Hi.
I bow to you.
Is this really happening? Is this really happening right now?
I'm okay
Hi.
with this, actually.
What? Why?
Oh, Your Grace. Please allow me to be in your presence.
Stop cowering over him. He's just Victor.
You say his first name with such familiarity. The Baron of the Valley. As my fangs pierce her and the exchange begins, I start using Share the Senses. And in my mind, I transfer the image that I see into Annabelle's mind. And that image is of me consuming her and using her strength to achieve my ends. And I will not stop.
Unwilling Spy, Oracle and Prophet, Princess Driver, A Tragic and Lost Soul. All these and more can describe the character we'll be discussing today. Hello, and welcome back, family, to Masquerade Monday. This is the 5th in a series of videos where I'll be doing in-depth profiles of the characters of LA by Night. You all have spoken, and the next video you wanted to see was about the misunderstood Malkavian, X. But before we begin, I feel it's important whenever we're discussing Malkavians to reference Vampire the Masquerade lore of the clans, which excellently sums up the particular curse of their blood. I'm Malkavian, and that's not funny. Vampires don't like to say what they mean. Look at all the polite terms we use to talk about the nasty, nasty things that happen to us. Embrace means ripping the throat out of someone's mother and shoving the blood back into the wrong hole. Malkavians are broken from their first night as a vampire. We don't have anything to hold on to as we fall. Madness is an archaic word used to describe what happens to the Malkavians because of their embrace. These terms follow us around like a stink cloud. Others talk about our madness as if it can be defined and accounted. They want to hold us down and define us because deep down they are scared of what we could really do. They fear the unknown we've touched because we've been able to grab a hold of it just for a second. Vampires cling to vanity, to power, to secrets, hoping that they buoy themselves against the great black waters where we live. Malkavians dive, swimming as hard and as fast as we can, hoping to find a little air pocket somewhere in the depths. It goes beyond mental health. Malkavians can't go into therapy or take medication. The afflictions we suffer may mirror ones defined by psychology, but that's because of our human shells. Some Malkavians drift through illnesses like hosts at a party. It's pattern recognition developed as a human working against perceptions developed as a vampire. Psychology is the study of human behavior. We're not human. Humans love to anthropomorphize things, so sending a Malkavian to a psychiatrist is like trying to talk to your cat by meowing back. Now with that in mind, kindred, let's dive in. Of all the members of the coterie, the least is known about X. Who he was as a mortal, who he was embraced by, even his real name, is lost to the fracturing that occurred the night he became vampire.
I'm gonna tap into a blurry memory that I have. I remember the cold of the ocean. And then I remember a horrible smell. And I remember being dragged. I remember being put inside somewhere. And I remember my name being taken from me.
So what do we know? Well, X was a resident of Santa Monica, directly reporting to the Baron of the city, Therese Vorman. He appeared to be close to Therese, or at least to her sister Jeanette, being the messenger to the Valley Coterie, and even had Therese referring to him as my boy.
X is a little upset with me right now because I lost my temper at him. You see, I'm very protective of him. So do take good care of my boy.
We know he frequented the beach where he met his former coterie, the Drum Circle, and fed on the homeless and transient population that slept there during the night.
I'm gonna hit up one of my favorite spots on the beach that I know that there's like an encampment.
Yeah, there is an encampment, and it's not far from here either. It's a quick walk. You can lead Annabelle there easily. You approach a group of men and women who are asleep on the beach, and they've huddled together for warmth, limbs intertwined. You kneel down on the sand beside a person, and very carefully, oh so gently,
I'm gonna grab an arm.
the instant your fangs pierce the flesh, he sighs happily, his breathing slows, and he drifts, and you drift with him. You can taste the ocean. You can taste calm, peace. All the strange voices draw away from you, and you know solace.
I'm gonna stop. I need to stop. I am able to give them a gift. These people, these transient people, and I can give them just the smallest bit of happiness. And these people, their day-to-day life is hell. And I can offer them peace, even if just for a short moment. And they offer it to me in return.
We also know, although X shies away from the topic even if he initially brings it up, that he likely embraced someone else out of loneliness, accident, or any of the other reasons kindred sire, and either realizing his mistake or fearing repercussions from his baron or for some other unknown reason, X staked this fledgling somewhere in the ocean beneath the pounding waves.
You asked if there was somebody that I had cared about, and when I first became like this, there was the impulse to create friends, because you can get lonely, and to know that our clans, our blood, will produce someone similar. You just want someone to know what you're going through. And sometimes you make a decision and it happens and you panic and well, you stake them and you put them into torpor, and then you tie a rock to their foot, and then you sink them to the bottom of the ocean for later. I can always take them out.
But I mean, like, did you do that? Is this just a hypothetical situation, or is this something that happened?
Oh, totally hypothetical. Yeah. Maybe don't embrace anybody yet.
At some point, X came across a newly embraced Nosferatu named Jasper, and eventually, after a particularly difficult evening, Jasper asked X to assist his coterie, specifically the baby Bruja Annabelle. X takes to this task like a fish to water and wastes no time explaining the birds and the bees, or rather the elephant and the bats, to Annabelle.
All right, there's this elephant. That's reality, right? Uh-huh. You're following?
Yes.
The elephant represents reality. It's like a metaphor, a simile, or one of those. So there are several bats. Let's call them vampire bats, right? There was 7. Then there's 13. Maybe could even be 5. There are bats that are coming and they want to feed on this elephant. Okay, they're hungry. They want that elephant juice, which is reality, right? The Bruja bat is coming to partake in the elephant.
That's me.
That's you. The Bruja bat. All of these bats, they can't see. They're vampire bats, right? So they're sensing. The Bruja bat only senses the elephant's foot. It breaks its fangs. Ow, oh no. So now the Bruja thinks, the elephant, aha! This elephant crushes others with its hard feet, with no regard. So I will be like that too. The Toreador bat encounters the elephant in a different way. The Toreador bat encounters its trunk and its mouth, and it says, aha! This elephant is a hard shaft, or a warm, moist hole. So I'll be one of those. The Ventru bat comes through and it encounters the elephant. It encounters the legs of the elephant and it says, these are strong pillars that are holding everything up. Everything, money, power, all of it. I too shall be like that. Aha, the Nosferatu bat unfortunately enters the elephant through the anus. The world is a dark, stinking cave, and I will live that way. The Malkavian bat, however, the Malkavian bat soars past the elephant. It doesn't even encounter it. And it says, aha, this thing that all the other people are obsessed with is nothing. It doesn't exist. It's incorporeal. It doesn't matter. And we are right.
Annabelle seems to instantly bond with X, empathizing and understanding, at least as much as one can, in a way likely no other kindred has since his embrace. As the night turns from party to chaos, Baron Abrams makes an appearance and X oddly asks him about Vannevar Thomas, the former prince of San Francisco.
Hi, sorry, X, still here, didn't leave yet.
I see that.
Quick, do we have to check with Vannevar about that?
I don't really think we give a shit what Vannevar
Victor,
thinks.
what exactly do you mean by that?
Well, he, is so nice. I just like interacting with him. He's the best.
No,
Those Camarilla thugs have no claim to Los Angeles. And if you are associating with Vannevar, I would recommend that you don't go back to Venice. I would recommend that you leave the city before the other barons find out what company you're keeping.
When we are dealing with people in power, sometimes it's fun to say things and just let them go, because you never know what they're going to reveal.
As of the recording of this video, it is unclear whether X knew, in the way only Malkavians can, about Vannevar's plans to declare Praxis, or if his baron, Therese Foreman, was already courting the Camarilla. Either way, this showed the coterie, and especially Annabelle, that their secrets would be harder to keep than they thought. With Jasper's favor completed, X came to collect his boon, namely to have Jasper teach him how to moonwalk, and continued to spend time with Annabelle, even offering her the gift of his second sight, which likely led to a massive upheaval with her girlfriend Eleanor, but we'll go more into that in Annabelle's video. When X shows up in the valley again, he's performing the same favor, only this time it's for Annabelle, and the night is no less chaotic than before. Unfortunately for multiple parties, Nellie G takes the life of one of Victor's security personnel, and X tries desperately to cover it up, fearful of what repercussions would fall on his head from Therese. He also is subjected to the wrath of Victor, who is having one of the worst nights of his unlife and suffers a bestial failure.
If people would just listen, this would all work out so much better.
I'm sorry, I don't know.
I'm gonna kind of hurry downstairs. Hey.
Don't let him hurt me.
He's not gonna hurt you.
X scampers away before the night is over, texting Annabelle favor repaid before heading out. Although X calls Victor on behalf of Baron Therese, we learn the depths of cruelty he bears, how fearful he is that Therese will hurt those he cares about, and how X is forced to be her spy.
Please, I can't do this anymore. They needed me and you made me abandon them. They're my friends. I should have been there. I should have protected them. Now the Camarilla is going to come for them. They need me. I just don't want to lie to them anymore. Please, Baron.
Stop your sniveling and do your job.
You know I do whatever you ask me to do. I've been good. It just hurts. I've never been a part of something like this.
You are part of something. You answer to me. Did you forget our arrangement? Did you forget your loyalty?
No. I know what I am, and I know who you are, and I know what you can do. I'll be good. Just forget I said anything.
Very well. Set up a meeting. And then I'll figure out what to do with you.
Please don't hurt her. Please don't hurt her.
Days and weeks pass by as the Camarilla begins their descent upon Los Angeles, as the revolution gains momentum and the coterie navigates the murky waters of both diplomacy and subterfuge, all the while having no idea what X is doing or going through. Eventually, however, he finds his way to Griffith College, away from Santa Monica, and asks for Victor's permission to live in his domain, admitting that he has vacated the territory of Baron Therese.
I ran away. I deserted the territory, and I need somewhere to go. I'm officially asking you as a kindred, can I crash on your territory?
He also admits to Annabelle that he has been spying on them for Therese, but claims she may still be spying through his eyes, whether he reports back to her or not. More days and weeks go by and not a peep is heard from X, except a few text messages where he types a very specific emoji, meant to signify his safe word, pineapple. Unfortunately for X, it isn't until Annabelle gets one of these texts that she deciphers his message and goes to meet with him. He meets her at an abandoned church where X claims the person who has been blasting kindred secrets all over the airways, known as Archangel, is inside. Upon meeting the radio host, Annabelle and X learn that she is a woman named Chloe who has ties to Jasper and was made immune to the blood bond by Eva. More about this issue is discussed in my videos on Jasper and Eva, the first of which you can watch here. X is scared and agitated, haunted by the visions of Archangel, and spurned on by Chloe's breach of the Masquerade. He threatens to kill her more than once.
My dude, you need to stop this. Whatever you're doing and whatever you think... thanks for coming, by the way. Whatever this is, I think we have to kill you now. Like, technically.
But after the more clear-headed Annabelle negotiates with her, X decides to offer Chloe his vitae in exchange for keeping off the radio and for any information she receives on kindred affairs to be funneled through X first. Chloe rather enthusiastically agrees, and X takes her into hiding with him.
You will the vitae to the surface.
Dirty fingernail.
Yeah. Don't be picky.
Consuming X's blood is slightly different than imbibing the vitae of some of the other kindred that you have tasted. This is simultaneously calming and yet confusing. It is almost as though the taste has color, and the color has sound, and you feel your senses opening in a way that you have not experienced before.
Okay, all right.
Wait, just a little bit more.
We're done.
It's like I hear it, and I see it, and I can hear it, and I can see it at the same time.
X receives a place to live, paid for by his new baron, Victor Temple, and he and Chloe settle into a life of subterfuge and espionage. Chloe spying on kindred in both the Camarilla and Anarch factions, while they set up fortune teller booths for the purpose of trying to convince Ivory Tower vampires to get out of town. Unfortunately, all this seems to have done is convince the Camarilla that the Thin Bloods need to be destroyed, truce or no truce. And speaking of the Camarilla, the cat is now out of the bag, and Vannevar has learned that his recent bout of addle-mindedness has been courtesy of Baron Therese Vorman's mental manipulation. In response, the prince declares a blood hunt on the Baron of Santa Monica. When X learns of this, he wants nothing more than to destroy her.
I don't want to be touched right now. I want to kill Therese. I want to kill Therese. I want to kill Therese Vorman!
At this point in X's life, He has suffered the loss of his mortal life, the loss of his identity, the loss of his freedom. Loss after loss after loss, and in his mind, the source of this anguish can be traced back to Therese Vorman. X feels that if she is gone, destroyed, met with the final death, he could truly, finally, be free. With Baron Temple and Baron Griffith not offering their immediate assistance, their loyalty to their fellow Baron playing a role in their hesitation, X decides he must gain the strength for himself. During a confrontation with another coterie, X attempts diablerie on a gangrel, but fails, so he turns his fury on his friend, the one that he had been tasked at one time to protect, and attempts to diablerize Annabelle.
I drink from Annabelle.
There is no hunger to sate, X.
I activate share the senses. As my fangs pierce her and the exchange begins, I start using share the senses. And in my mind, I transfer the image that I see into Annabelle's mind. And that image is of me consuming her and using her strength to achieve my ends. And I will not stop.
Luckily, Annabelle's coterie were there to stop him, but their friendship was shattered at that moment, and as of the recording of this video, it is unclear whether or not it can be repaired. It should also be noted that taking all of Annabelle, her very essence, may have been a plan of X's for some time. When sharing his memories with Jasper on the beach after the attempted diablerie, X claims to have had an idea that if he diablerized the baby, he could take her strength. But then she would take him over, and his pain would be gone. All of it, everything, would finally be over.
I knew the whole time I'm guilty. I thought I could change it, but I can't. I'm not that powerful. And she, the spark of the resistance, was the thing that I needed. But I would have to eat the baby.
You would.
I would have to eat the baby.
You would.
But then I'd be free. And she would tell me, and I would know. And I would be strong. And it would be fine. Because the child of macabre is no match. She would win, and I would be gone, and that would be better. If I train her, if I make her stronger than me, then it won't matter. I'll eat her. She'll be gone for a little bit, but I'll be able to do it, and then I'll be free, and I'll be gone, and she'll be here.
Whether X has been the villain behind the curtain, a walking cautionary tale, or simply a heartbreaking figure, followed by the darkest, stormiest rain cloud, is up for interpretation, remains to be seen, and may ultimately be all of the above. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and tell me some of your favorite X moments in LA by Night. I make content multiple times a week, and every Monday is Masquerade and now sometimes Mage Monday, so if you enjoy what I do, please consider hitting that subscribe button. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.